YouTube, what it do? Is your boy Benji back with the crew. If you're new, please don't forget to subscribe. Uncle Shay Shay. You know what I mean, he made some news recently. His brother's supposed to be going into the NFL Pro Football Hall of Fame. One of the two. At the end of the day, this weekend has been a little bit sour if you're part of the Sharpe family because Shannon Sharpe has been fired from ESPN, and that broke headlines right before his brother's big day. Let's check it out.
essay and grape to an OnlyFans model, and that she was seeking damages in the amounts of $50 million. Now, a lot of people were suspicious because this came after a recent claim of Shannon Sharpe being supposedly or reportedly demanding upwards of $100 million in his next contract from ESPN or the Volume or whoever he was seeking this contract from. So it seemed quite timely for something like this to come out. As more and more time passed, from my personal perspective, Shannon Sharpe did not handle the situation correctly. He exposed himself more and more and more and really should have settled things behind closed doors. Now, I'll go back and recap in a little bit, but ultimately this decision and court case came to a settlement in which Shannon Sharpe and the 20-year-old came to some sort of agreement that Shannon Sharpe would have to pay an undisclosed amount of money. Tony Busby, the lawyer for the 20-year-old, wrote out on Twitter, on April 20th, 2025, the Busby law firm filed a complaint in Nevada making several allegations against Shannon Sharpe on behalf of our client. Both sides acknowledge a long-term consensual and tumultuous relationship. After protracted and respectful negotiations, I'm pleased to announce that we have reached a mutually agreed upon solution. All matters have now been addressed satisfactorily, and the matter is closed. The lawsuit will thus be dismissed with prejudice. Now, I know that people are going to read that as, hey, Shannon Sharpe didn't do anything. They say it's long-term consensual, but tumultuous just means that they were arguing and fighting and stuff like that. But that's not how I personally read it. This is a way to fence it, to be quite honest with you. Hey, some stuff was done, some stuff wasn't done. We can at least acknowledge it's a relationship. Why? Because I need to clear my name so I can go back to working. Shannon thought that he would be heading into this case with the expectation that he would be back first day of training camp, but ESPN shut that down quick as hell yesterday by letting go of Shannon Sharpe.
I'm sure everybody's heard the news by now that I will not be returning to ESPN. I found out this information a little earlier in the week, and really the only thing that I really ask is, like, guys, could we wait until Monday? My brother's going into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I really wanted to be about him, and I wanted to be about my family. I said this coming out will overshadow everything that he's worked his entire life for. And unfortunately, it didn't happen that way. Damn. And so as I told him, as I profusely apologized to him earlier today, he said, bro, stop apologizing. You don't have to apologize. I'm your big bro. I'm going to love you regardless. We all make mistakes. And he says, bro, I love you. So I'm done with this. You're done with it too. Move on. I really enjoyed my time at ESPN. It gave me an opportunity to bring my audience that saw me really just grow. They saw me, Lakers in 5, and they saw me say all these analogies that my grandparents gave me. And
Gabrielle Zuniga, the woman in question, the 20-year-old OnlyFans model, released her own version of a statement saying that, and I quote, "Today I have decided to retire from OF." This is after the settlement. "Thank you for the incredible support you've shown me over the past few years. This community has given me a life I could have never imagined. I'll stay."
These are some of the text messages. That's my... Oh, no. But here's the thing. I think the shorty being an OF model is already just like dastardly news. You would think that, I guess, Shannon being one of the... I mean, what would you consider him to be? A co-worker? A participant? A customer? I mean, what would he be in this scenario? End of the day, I think that, you know what I'm saying, there's got to be like some kind of HIPAA stuff, man, that's going on, man. Like, I think we should make this analogous to that. I mean, at the end of the day, baby, you got hired to do one task. Keep things cute. Let's keep it cool. But knowing this woman's conspiring against you this entire time, that's got to be rough. But, I mean, apparently things got real, like they say, tumultuous. Things got real nasty. Things got real bad because I guess feelings were involved. I don't understand how there was too many text messages. It should have just been, hey, what you doing at 6? Let's go get some food. Let's go back to the crib or whatever the case may have been. That should have been it. That's the only thing you're going to get if I'm somebody as big as Shannon Sharpe. So, handled horribly. This is obviously a relationship. This was one no just, you know what I'm saying, Friday night special. That's true. There was audio of him saying that he was going to choke. Oh, my goodness.
this is a shakedown. I'm going to be open, transparent, and defend myself because this isn't right. This is all being orchestrated by Tony Busby, who has targeted Jay-Z. Tony Busby targets black men, and I believe he's going to release a 30-second clip of a sex tape that tries to make me look guilty and play into every stereotype you could possibly imagine.
Well, he didn't release that, so the stuff that Shannon Sharpe released, if I recall correctly, it absolutely villainized him worst. He could have kept that stuff in the chamber.
Just me. When Shannon Sharpe said that part about how he would drop the whole 10-minute sex
Yeah,
tape, I
crazy
thought,
work.
man, this guy has a problem. He is a sexual deviant. Now, for those that aren't informed, keep in mind, Tony Busby never said that he was going to drop any sex tape of the sort. This was just something that Shannon had kind of concocted, and maybe a way to display his freak nasty nature. We've seen
It's possibly conversations that they had in private, but yeah, to even act as if this is something that was gonna happen and like put that out there publicly was crazy. And again, like the messages, I think the information that Shannon Sharpe did release only painted him in a worse light. It was crazy. Obviously, if you had to ask me, this story is just a big example of how you just need to have some discipline. You need to keep it in your pants. You need to pay attention to who you lay with. Especially if you have a walking target on your back, like somebody. The stature or status of Shannon Sharpe. Y'all remember too that Shannon Sharpe was on Instagram Live questioning Joan and was trying to act as if he hit that button on accident. Like, bruh, I think if I'm ESPN too, I'm tired of you. You playing around. Like, y'all remember this Joan when he was up there growling and groaning and moaning? Bruh, no. If I'm ESPN, that's it. Bruh, once I hear wind of you getting R charges and at the very least, you distracted all the positive attention from our show, and now we're being associated with some nonsense. We're out on that. And this is the second time that you did it, so I'm out.
You're coming to LA tomorrow?
Yes.
Well, I don't know why you want to go out.
Don't worry about it, Gabby.
Well, okay.
Okay, what?
Well, I'm not really interested in getting choked, so I guess we're going.
Yeah. I might choke you in public.
Okay.
Big black guy chokes small white woman.
If that brother has a racial fetish, I've ever seen one.
But here's the thing, bruh. Like, Shorty was out there recording. Like, so think if you're like Shannon, bro, and you put yourself into some situations with a woman like this, you shouldn't expect much positive to come from the situation. If you had to ask me, I feel like it's just set up from the beginning. She knows who you are. She probably looked up in that work. She looked up your history. She looked up the amount of sacks you had and that Hall of Fame career. She gonna see you at the very least. If she goes to the gym and hits a workout, she gonna see you on TV talking about Lakers and 5. You gotta control yourself. If you was gonna do the D with mommy, then let it be just that. That's all I'm saying. Conversation talking about some big black guy chokes small white woman in public, and you on a recording. It sounds crazy, especially if it's taken out of context.
Listen, the only reason Shannon makes any money at all is because of you and how you feel about him, how you judge him, what light you see him in. The only reason that Shannon makes any money is because you exist and you have money, and so companies want to get in front of you. These companies feel like you hold Shannon Sharpe in a certain esteem and you watch Shannon Sharpe, so they want to use Shannon Sharpe to get in front of you.
I think that's the biggest thing that's going to drive cancel culture. The people have the power. At the end of the day, whoever we champion and push to the top is going to be the person that gets the money. They're going to be the person that gets the attention. They're going to be the person that gets all the accolades. Again, if Kai Cenat, I don't want to use nobody's name, I'm sorry. If any of these celebrities get to a certain point, or at least these content creators, they've gotten to a certain point of fame, these musicians, these entertainers, these athletes, yes, a lot of that has to do with maybe their comedic ability, their talent on the court, their physicality, whatever the case may be. But a greater portion of that you can't really measure about a star is how much the people get behind them. That's why, at the very least, even an accusation we see destroy Shannon Sharpe. And it was, like he said, at the very end of the day, a shakedown. Shorty got what she needed. She's able to retire from OnlyFans because it's much more profitable to go after this dude's name, go after his integrity. And at the very least, you can destroy this person's character and reputation solely by making claims about them. We saw what happened to Jonathan Majors last year. A woman threw all these accusations out about him, and at the very least, there's a video of him touching her, putting her in the car. So just being convicted of two things. People are not going to go read the nitty gritty. People are not going to go watch the tape. People aren't going to pay attention to the dude running away from the woman. They're just going to see, oh, there's allegation here, or they're going to just see whatever is alleged, and they're going to maybe see him make a conviction of one or two things, or charge of one or two things, and they're going to say, oh, I'm out on this guy. Because see how people are quick to cancel somebody or not support anything they do solely because they disagree with a post, a retweet, an idea, a comment, a statement, anything like that. It's crazy.
You got a budget. I don't get whatever you do after that.
What number? I mean, I don't want to be in your business, but what number you said?
30,000.
Okay, so you can have a wedding with 30,000.
I don't know what you can have. I ain't the one getting married. I don't give a damn. hey, y'all from the South, y'all know about that fried catfish and spaghetti plate. Hey, I know somebody hooked that thing right on up. What they charge about a plate? $10.50 a head. Spaghetti, fried catfish, a piece of cornbread, and a styrofoam cup of sweet tea. That's all you get.
And now, granted, it is Shannon's money. He can do whatever he pleases. But now we, as the public, can criticize you for your decision making, especially because you have in the past said that something that you regret or wish you had done in your earlier days was be a better father. You have the opportunity now by putting up more than 30,000 for those.
I completely disagree here. I ain't gonna lie. I've seen this take once or twice. My internet. Before I get into it, I'm gonna let him try to, you know what I'm saying, substantiate here.
Those daughters, but you would rather put up $25K per cheek on somebody that you hope to call you daddy in a sexual way. Like that is a bad look.
Everybody wants Zion to get in shape except Zion. Everybody wants Zion to have discipline except Zion. So how can I want something? How can the team want something more for him than he wants it for himself? Right. That's why they put it in his contract. Look how they got it in his contract.
So, end of the day, it's all about perspective. This man obviously wants his daughter to be married and is willing to allow her to do whatever she needs to do. Why does he have to come out of pocket a buku number for the wedding? The wedding is just a celebration of the marriage. That's why I just disagree. Like, let's just say, for example, his daughter is like working a regular job or not working, whatever the case may be. Maybe she's working a dude that works a quote-unquote regular job. And I said to say, like, they could be easily six-figure earners, both of them. But, again, does that mean that you have to have a $200,000 wedding? A $500,000 wedding? Like, I don't understand. What are you guys asking him to do? Let's just, like, at the very end of the day, if let's just say his daughter and her husband make $100,000 each. Hey, look, I'll give y'all a $30,000 budget. I'm willing to give y'all $30,000 for the wedding. For most people, that like is an extravagant wedding. I've been to some weddings that are $30,000. Very, very nice weddings. I've been to weddings that are $10,000. Been to weddings that are $5,000. At the end of the day, the focus should not be the marriage. I'm sorry, the focus should be the marriage, not the wedding. The wedding's nice icing on the cake. That's just, again, for the optics. I think at the very end of the day, having a bunch of people that love and support you and care about you on the outside, your tribe, your community, in support of this moment, in support of y'all future, that's more powerful than the wedding itself. Oh, because we got bedazzles and sparks and fireworks and this DJ. I just disagree. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, if this dude is just a sexual deviant and he finds that he wants to hold that at a high level, I mean, that's completely separate. Shannon Sharpe is a millionaire. His daughter is not a millionaire. At the end of the day, if she needs something, she can ask me. I give you $30,000 for a wedding. But again, like, this is the lifestyle that she would have to maintain. It's like the same argument where I see people upset at celebrities that give people quote unquote regular cars. Like, for example, if a homeless person, they've been awarded an opportunity to work, right? And then you see these celebrities that, oh, I give you a Corolla or a 2022 Camry or something like that. People are like, what? You rich? Why don't you give them a Maybach or something? That's dumb. This person has to rely on an income, and they should have things around them that are relevant to their income. So if something were to go wrong, they're not stuck with a bill. If you put them in a house, put them in a moderate house. Or put them in a moderate apartment. So if things would go wrong, or if they needed to, they're not stuck with a $30,000 bill or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't think that makes any sense. Like, you know, these people, I don't know. I just, again, Shannon Sharpe's life is completely different than his daughter's life. she ain't NFL Hall of Famer. Shannon Sharpe, like you said, is about to ask for $100 million. So if I fall out and I'm spending $25,000 each cheek, I spent 57 years, 58. I don't know how old Shannon Sharpe is at this point. 59, 60. I've been 60 years to get to this point where I can do that. You didn't yet. And a Zion's joint, that was more about Zion Williamson's discipline in regards to staying healthy and keeping his weight down. Shannon Sharpe takes leave from CBS due to restraining order. See documents here. Shannon Sharpe has long been a favorite of Broncos fans, a former record-setting tight end turned broadcaster whose Denver rights have long felt deserves to be in the NFL Hall of Fame. But his road to Canton may have gotten longer with him taking a temporary...
Because it's different now. Than when you and I...
It's different, baby. I'm grateful I'm not 56 and trying.
Are you trying to say what you trying to say?
I'm looking right at you.
I know you looking at me.
I ain't backing down. You better take your old ass and get somebody to love you.
Damn, Mo.
Now I'm looking right at y'all. Let me tell y'all what Shannon needs.
Let me
tell you what my baby needs. He need him an old fat gal who can bake good cakes, make some smothered turkey wings, who gonna rub his feet at the nighttime, okay, and gonna have a sip of his...
Am I tripping, y'all? Let me know. He was saying he'll give his daughter $30K for the wedding, but gave $20 million to an OF model. It's crazy when you think about it. He retired someone's daughter while putting his on a budget. It's his money. He can do what he wants to, but this is wild. I'd be hurt if I was his daughter. All because he wanted to mess with the woman the age of his daughter. Not to mention she got more money from him than his daughters. He settled for more than he ever made in his football career. Imagine playing the NFL for free. Don't mess with, now here we go. Don't mess around with people who have nothing to lose. And that's what I'm saying. That's why I think I don't have an issue with the wedding thing, but I have an issue where because of his lack of discipline, now that money that he could have stacked for his kids or whatever the case may be is gone. And so now that $30,000 budget, we sticking to it. But millions to court again in order to keep money in the bank is important. Yeah, I agree. You guys are just crazy people, man. This is, again, the problem. I think a lot of people have an issue understanding money. Or you have tied a lot of worth to money. You want to get rich so you can flex on everybody. Instead of being afforded the opportunities and the freedom that wealth will give you. But y'all let me know what y'all think about everything in the comments below. Shout out to Omeezy. Original video will be in the description.